Hello everyone, so let's solve max exam math A 2015 question 1.5. Okay, so you have two circles that go through these 2 points and are tangent to the y axis, letting the radius of the circles be A and B implies that, so he wants you to find the multiplication of A multiplied by B. So look, when it comes to circles, we need three informations, okay, to find the circle. It can be 3 points, or it can be 3 points. So we have 1 3 and 2 4, but we don't have the third point. We can, if you remember the equation of a circle, if we know the the center of the circle and the radius. So if we knew here the radius or a third point, it would be perfect, okay? But let's go directly to what we need to solve, okay? So what do we need to solve? Well, the information that he gave us were that if this was the y-axis, our circle is tangent, and it's not just tangent, it passes through the point 1 3. So let's say over here, maybe this point over here is 1 3, and the point 2 4. So let's say over here, okay, this point over here is 2 4. So what do we know? We know that our circle is going to pass through them, something like this, okay? I know it's not perfect, but something like this, okay? Now what is the point that I'm trying to make over here? That this over here, it is tangent, right? So the y-axis is tangent to our circle. So this is the radius, okay? Let me change the color. This is the radius over here. Now the thing about the radius is that if this is tangent, so let's say that this is the center. Now notice that this radius over here and the x-axis are equal. So when it is tangent to the y-axis, this radius is a, right? Because he is telling us that the first radius is a, and the x of the center is a. Okay, does this make any sense? Like, you have a tangent over here, and this is our circle, okay? So it must be it must be a in the x-axis, because here is a. What if it was tangent to the x-axis? What if we had a circle that it's like this? Notice that this would be our radius, right? And this would be y. So the y of the center would be equal to our radius, okay? If it was the x-axis, okay? If it was tangent to the x-axis. But here it is tangent to the y-axis. So again, over here, so the thing that I'm going to do now is, we know these two, we have a point over here that is, it is 1, and here it is what? Here it is 2, right? No, 3. It was 3. Here it is 3. And we know the center point over here, it is what? Well, it has some point y, that I don't know, but I know where it cuts the x-axis, right? Here it is a, because the radius is a. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, you see this line over here, the red line, it is a also, right? But notice that now we have like a small triangle, and now I'm going to find this distance. Look, this triangle over here, this point over here, it's the center point, okay? this over here is A, it is this radius over here. Now this point over here, I'm going to call it P, okay? So this is the point P. Now notice, what is the value of this side over here? One second, let me just... So this side over here. Now this side, this is A and this is 1. So this part over here is A minus 1, right? Look, until here it is A. Until here it is 1. So what is this space over here? It is A minus 1. A minus 1, okay? Now the same... One second. So here it is A and here it is 1. Okay, now the same goes for this part over here. All this is Y, but this part over here, it is 3. So this side over here, it's Y minus 3, okay, because we only want this side. Okay, so we have that A squared is equal to A minus 1 squared plus Y minus 3 squared, okay? Now let me... So we have that A squared is equal to... Now I'm just going to open this part squared, okay? Remember always, if you know the formula for this parent squared, if not, you need to do it by this, okay? And then just go multiplying, okay? So this is, I'm just not going to do it fast over here so that we don't take too long. So A squared minus 2A plus 1. So this is this part over here, it is this, okay? So plus 1 plus, now for this part over here, so y squared minus 6y plus 9, okay? So the A will cancel with A, so we'll have that 2A is equal to y squared minus 6y plus 10, okay? So this is an equation for us to... So we are going back for this one, okay? So don't forget about this one. I'm going to put it in here in red, okay? I'm going to call it equation 1, okay? So for the second equation, I'm going to use the next point over here, okay? Okay, so this... let's use this drawing over here. One second. So where was the second point? We had a point over here, right? That was 2, 4, okay? So this is 2 and this is 4 over here, okay? So it is 4 over here. Now we have the center over here, and remember the coordinations of our center is what? It was A and Y, okay? Because we don't know the Y, but we know that it is in A, okay? And now I'm going to find this distance over here between the point of the center and this point over here, between 2 points, distance between 2 points, okay? Just like I did in the first one, but the second point is 2 and 4. How do we do this distance over here? Well, the same thing. Look, all this is Y, right? Actually the 4 is bigger than, but it's not, no problem, because it's going to be squared. So all this is 4, all this is Y, all this is Y, and this part over here it's 4, right? So this is our triangle, right? So this part over here is A, this part over here is Y minus 4, right? This part over here, this part over here. Now what about this part over here? Well, this part over here, it was 4, and here it is A, right? So all of it is 4, until here it is A. So this is 4 minus A, okay? So we will have that a squared is equal to 4 minus a squared plus, sorry, this is not 4 over here. This is not 4, it is 2, right? It is 2. Yes, it is 2. This point over here, it is 2. I'm just, look, the circle was like this, and this point over here, it was a, this point 2, this point 4, and this point y. So this is y minus 4, this is 2 minus a, okay? So my bad over here. So 2 minus a. So over here it is 2 minus a squared, 2 minus a squared, plus y minus 4 squared, okay? So let's take this part over here, squared. So look, so we will have that a squared is equal to this part squared, so minus 4a plus a squared plus y squared minus 8y plus 16. So we'll have that 4a is equal to, this a cancels this, and this goes to the other side. So y squared minus 8y, this one over here, it is 2 squared, so it is 4 over here, plus 20, okay? So let me take this over here. Now we have our two equations, okay? So now we are going to solve these equations, and now notice, until now I was just talking about one circle, right? Because the second one, it will show immediately. What do I mean by this? This answer over here, it will give us two types of y, okay? Because the y is squared. Now why it is going to give us this? Because these 2 points, the 2 points over here, are, they both make parts of both the circles, okay? So the second circle is something like this. It goes to this point, and it also respects this condition over here, okay? So let's just solve this, and then we are going back to this example. So by solving this, you will have that. Now look, I'm going for, in this part over here, this for a, I'm going to call it 2 multiplied by 2a, okay, which is 4a, okay, didn't change anything. But this 2a is equal to this, right? So I'm going to have 2 multiplied by y squared minus 6y plus 10 equals to this part over here, okay? 1 second. Equals to this, and here it is 20. So we are going to have that y squared minus 4y is equal to 0, okay? I just solved this very fast, okay? So we have two conditions for y is 0, solving this, y and y minus 4. So for this to equal 0 over here, either y is 0 or y is 4, right? Or you can solve it by the quadratic formula, okay? So we have these two answers over here. Now notice, for our first circle, and you so something like this, okay? So look, this tells us that our first circle has a center in y equals 4, and remember we had these 2 points over here, so 3 over here and 1, and we had the other point over here, it was 4 and 2, right? 4 and 2. So this tells us that this y for the first circle, and the second circle, it has the y over here, okay, in 0. So it is like this, something like this, okay, with the y in 0. Now look, let's find a first. So by using this as 4, by using y as 4. So let's take this one over here to find a, okay. Now 4 multiplied by a is equal to y squared. Well, y in case of 4, okay, so 16 minus 32, 4 multiplied by 8 plus 20. So this is actually, so it is 4 multiplied by a is equal to 4, so a is equal to 1. So this is the first one. So this center over here, so actually our circle that we wanted, it was something like this, okay. So it was, this is 4, okay, and here it is 1 over here, okay, and here it is 4, right, and here it is 2, and this point over here is 3, okay. It is something like this. I'm going to put it in the app to show you the circles in 1 second. But for the second one, remember the second one had a center in y equals 0, right, over here, y equals 0. So how can we find it? Well, actually we can just put it in this equation too, okay, in this one. We can just put it over here. Why? Now I know that this seems that it is going to give us when a, because it is in terms of a, but it is the same thing. Why is it that way? Because look, it is also passing through these points, okay. Which point? This point is 2 and 4, and this point is what? Is 1 and 3, right? The point that he gave us in the question over here, okay. 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. So both of them pass through this, and y of the center is equal to 0. If you do this distance over here, you will get the same formula, because it needs to be the same formula, okay. So all we have to do now is 0, 0, and now we have that a is equal to 20 divided by 4, but now it's not a, because the second circle, the radius of the second circle, it's called b. So b is equal to 20 divided by 4, which is 5. So a multiplied by b is equal to 5, okay. So here we have the two circles that are tangent to this line. So the first one, this one, and the green one. You can see that the green one has the diameter of 10, so the radius is 5. Here we have the equations of the first one, this one. You can see that the center points over here, 1 and 4. Look, point A, 1 and 4, okay. For the center of B, 5 and 0, and here it is given us this one over here is the radius square. Here it is 5 square, so it is 25, and these points over here are the points of intersection between them, so 2 and 4, and the point C, so the point C is 1 and 3. Now just before we end, I wanted to talk a bit more about the why when we did the distance between A and C, and then we did C and D, right, and then we had two equations. So it is the same because we had variables. So if you do B and C and B and D, it is the same 2 points that we are looking for, okay. They are the same 2 points, over here and over here, but the only difference is the radius, okay, and here and here. So for when we did when we did this one over here, how did we do it? Well, now it seems simpler because we know that they have the same axis, the axes. So how did we do it? We did it first, y minus the y of the center squared, distance between 2 points, right? Plus x minus x of the center squared. We did this, and then we did it to the other point over here. This is exactly the same that we do over here with this two, okay? It is exactly the same thing. We are going to call this y and b, and instead of putting a in like over here, we are putting b because the radius of this one is b. So if the radius is b, this value of the x of the center, it is b, right? If the radius is a over here, then the value of the x of the center is a.